Hello, mate. Hey, how you doing? You all right?
Marvellous. How are
Brilliant.
you doing? Are you all right?
Not too bad, not too bad, not too bad, honey. We're just having a bit of decorating. We'd started a revamp before everything went mad, and all the chaos that we've had, honey. So we'd done half the room's carpeting, we'd done a lot of stuff. So to be honest, you'll be in the same boat as us. We're just trying to balance everything.
Yeah.
We kept the boys on. Pete and Dave are still here. We are, but we're paying them full. We're trying to do everything that, when it first happened, we thought, right, what do we need to honour and what we've got to do to kind of not go bankrupt, to keep the business so as it comes out the other side. It's been such a stressful struggle. I know I haven't got to tell your guys because it will have been the same for your lot, but it's just, it's unprecedented, isn't it? I think everything that's happened has been so uncharted waters, and therefore I found the first month, if I'm honest, very nerve-wracking. I don't really struggle with my mental health, really. I'm lucky in that way, but that really did pull me and Karen down, where we were both worrying about so much. We had a lot of stresses owning a business.
Yeah.
What we're going to do. There was no kind of concrete dates on when this was going to stop, how long it could have gone on to the end of the year. We weren't sure. But yeah, so it was quite a lot to handle, really, at first. But we had so much support from all the bands. They've been great. I mean, I'm sure your guys as well. I mean, it's like, I love the campaigns you're doing and everything your guys do, including this, what you're now doing with the TV thing. It's just brilliant. I think you're the brick is just does so much for the music scene and keeping everything vibrant. I love it. I'm so behind your guys. I honestly, I love your venue. But yeah, so we started this big sort of revamp, we then ended up like sort of, if I'm honest, I know it's getting away from business, but we personally threw all the savings in. We then got some help from the government with a grant, but that's all long gone, really, as is the savings. We've done a bit of a finance loan, if I'm honest, which is going to see us. So I didn't want any customers worrying that we won't be reopening. We're definitely reopening on 30th of July. If there's another spike, we would be all right. 13th. If there was another spike, we would be all right. We finance food to be all right till about October, in truth.
Cool.
So now we're kind of blitzing this next few weeks just to open where the building is spick and span. It's really great. Karen, she's like my rock, really. She's brilliant. And she's been doing all the kind of admin side, keeping abreast of all the laws and everything.
Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it?
It's a nightmare. Well, we talked to you, didn't we, last week and stuff, and we were saying with the spittle, with a vocalist, with I don't know if the musicians are aware, but it's so hard for any venue of any live music, really, because you've got woodwind instruments, you've got trumpets, anything that's kind of spittle or vocal based. It's a 3 meter rule. Yeah. So I mean, what we're placing in, we've done a floor plan for the rooms that even with the 2 meters, it allowed us for a 5-piece band. Yeah. But we're doing the vocalists where they're going to be placed at the back of the room or the front where the door is, and we're going to have them where they face the drummer. So there's a good 15 or 20 foot in front of them where there's nobody placed. Yeah. But it's a balancing act, and it's so hard because, I mean, I think personally, I think the government, the help we've had, it's unprecedented. I think they've done very well, but it's all unprecedented. So it's all these grey areas, and there must be so much legislation to sort, but there's all these grey areas of, like we didn't fall into venues, into leisure, into live. With your guys, they're now doing the 4th of July with venues, pubs, but you're a live music venue. There's nothing really set in stone yet for theatres, for any live performance, no kind of light at the end of the tunnel of a date that they can give them. And I know
kind of feeling our way through blind, aren't we, John? Because we've got no guidance.
It's so hard, and I can understand it because a lot of it's one of them few scenarios where you always think, I think, as public, that you look to the government or to scientists and they'll have an answer. But in this case, they haven't. I mean, they're saying, well, we don't know. We don't know if it's going to come back a second time. We don't know if people are going to catch it twice. So, I mean, we've been fully behind it in the fact that it saves lives. I think from, I don't know what the figures are, and I know you see one scientist say one thing and never say another, but I think the figures were that with the social distance in the 2 meters, if you had it for that 2-week period without realizing, you'd pass it to around 12 people. Without the 2 meter distance, that's over 500. So the 40,000 plus that have now been lost would have been a couple of million. So, where the frustration we get, I've took stock in that, and Karen has as well, that you feel you're doing nothing and your hands are tied and you're floating. You're seeing, especially with businesses, you're seeing your accounts just dissipate and go down. There's no income coming in, there's nothing. I mean, I don't know if public think with businesses that you've had help, and we have had help and we've had grants, but I don't know if they realise the finances that go out of your account, and having premises and business rates and things, the obligations you have. It don't last 2 minutes, Charlie, do it? It's terrifying.
No, we've had a couple of interesting messages this week from some of our customers saying, can't you just open for tea time?
Yeah, it don't work like that, does it? It's
the minute that our doors open,
your help's gone.
Yeah. You then, our costs then over 8,000 a week. The minute our doors open.
That's when you talk to people, when you've got commitments of 25 grand a month. That's when they realise, oh, right, so 2 hours a day isn't going to cover your overheads. It just isn't. I mean,
surveil are not going to save me.
No. It's terrifying. And like when they realise, actually, the grant that your guys will have got might have covered you for 4 weeks of your business running costs, but what you've done for the remaining 10 that have now been, it's so hard, but it's kind of, what do you do? Because I suppose in a perfect world, the government would have liked everybody to have stayed isolated and kept full lockdown until maybe October, November. Yeah. But you've got that balance of health against the fact that if everything crashes, and small businesses are the backbones of the economy, then the economy will just tumble. And will that cause more damage and take more lives in the long run and do more than what the actual virus will? So it's such a fine line into it with anything that's just unprecedented, and we've never seen anything worldwide like this, I don't think, in our lifetime. I think every generation has something. You had like swine flu, what do you call it, a Spanish flu in the like late 1800s, early 1900s, and then you obviously had the world wars. But I think the generation that kind of last really was of an age to remember the world wars, as people are dissipating, our generation, and I think the generation, our parents that went before us, we've never had a worldwide event, and this is ours. It really is. But it's so hard to know what to do for the best. I mean, we went to Broadland, and then we went to County Council. They put us on, and we had a chat with trading standards, and we basically just tell them the setup of what we do, the size of the rooms, and we worked out between us that at the time of the 2 meter, they were happy for us to have a 5-piece band, as long as vocalists weren't directly facing anybody else. And we said I would set it up where they'd be facing from the front of the room, and that'd give them at least 15 to 20 foot towards the drama. Mm-hmm. And they said that they'd be happy with that. We've got a lot of things we have to adhere to. We're practicing where if bands turn up early, stay in your cars. Don't come in or stay in the car park. Don't enter the building and site until your rehearsal time starts. That way it stops the congestion and the changeovers. We're having time slot changes, so there's a 30-minute window of bands leaving and the next coming in. We've staggered the rooms as well, so we can utilise that 30 minutes to totally sanitise all the amps. All the rooms are having sanitation areas, so you'll have hand sanitisers and antibac wipes. We then have got a sanitation station as you walk in. We've got a screen in the office where you're actually going to, we're not really having the office to any access other than staff now, but where people have to come in to make card payments, we're going to key it in. Staff will go behind the actual screen, and then it'll just be, your contactless. If people are not contactless, we've got hand sanitizer for them to use before and after using the keypads. The staff's going to go around collect fees anyway, and just escort one person to pay the full amount rather than people paying splits, so that, a bit like with your guys, if a person can come and get one order in when you finally do up and maybe get around, it saves 100 people being at the bar. It's better to have 10 in it. So it's that kind of ethos. But the idea really is to not have the office as a congregation area. Yes, and staff's going to go around at 15 minutes past the start time to collect all the rooms and collect cash from that. We're going to ask bands to put the cash on the front amp near the door so they can just pick it up, or like I say, one person can pay the full amount, the bands can sort their splits out between themselves. It saves also people coming to pay at the end, so when people are finished, we're asking them to allow for pack-up time, and then that way they vacate from when their payment time finishes on the room, so that we get that 30 minutes to fully sanitize that room. We've managed to get mic sponge screens, you know, the sponge covers, and we're getting them at £1 for cost for trade, so we're selling them to, or giving them punters for that £1 as well. We're doing it that way to try and get them to not throw it away, because they're totally reusable. You can spray them with sanitizer, you can even wash them in a washing machine, and you can use them repeatedly. But some musicians are wanting to fetch their own microphones, which is fine, you know, that's no problem. We can give them either jack plugs or 3-pin plugs, whatever they want. So I mean, there's no problem with that, but we're trying to make it that everything is sanitized between one band being in and the other band leaving. So we're asking really cooperation from the bands, that we're going to adhere to these rules really stringently. You know, we're a relaxed business. We're like, people come, they enjoy it, they love it, it's fun, it's a great atmosphere to be in. But we do have to kind of adhere to all these rules for people to see.
Everyone will be there with you and stand with you, John. At the end of the day, they love you guys, and you know they're quite chilled, aren't they?
Yeah. It's just really a little bit of common sense, Charlie. It's like you go to the supermarket, you do the queue, but you're left to your own devices once you're in there. Same as with bands in ours. We'll have the floor plans, but you're left once you're in the rooms. But it's just using a bit of common sense. It's all doable. I think if we all pull together as well, and people really, really do adhere to things, this will all be over soon.
Yeah. So just going back to your equipment, John, you were talking about microphones. Are you asking people to bring in their own mics? I have to say whether you're allowed to use microphones, because we, under our guidelines the guidelines that are not there yet, the ones that have been sort of thrown about, they've been saying that you need several sets of microphones, and then they need deep disinfectant in between use. And to actually properly sanitize and disinfect a mic takes 24 hours, according to Sher.
Yeah, I mean, we've got enough secondary mics. We've got masses, to be honest, Charlie. So what we're looking at doing is changing them over each. We're asking bands how many vocalists they got. When it's like sort of 4 or 5, that can be a pain. But at the same time, we've got so many sets of mics, you know, on site, because we sometimes have hires go out for weddings and all sorts, and they'll take 20 mics. So we're lucky in that way. We're not really doing a lot of with the hire now. I mean, we've obviously shows having stopped and things. That side of the business is not really doing anything, so we're utilising a lot of that for the rooms. We really, where we stance is that you haven't got to bring your own mic, but we're encouraging people to do so.
Yeah, definitely. So it's going to be actually quite a lot of extra work for you. And
you know, I mean, we bought these really good mist sprays, which they don't damage your equipment, but they totally sanitize it. We've managed to get really high resolution. I think it's 75% or something with the sanitation liquids that we've got. I mean, it's kind of like everything really, isn't it, at the moment? It's going to be a little bit of trial and error. When we open, we're finding our feet a bit same as the customers are, so we're kind of asking really just to work together, you know, just to adhere to what rules we have got. When they come in, there'll be notices up, please, like on the front of the building. If you've got any symptoms, do not enter and just return home. And I'm really kind of quite happy with the procedures we've got, that people are going to be, if they adhere to them, they'll outside the room, that'll be down to us, but inside the room, we're just asking, stick to the floor plans, stick to what we're doing. You know, we're not doing anything of it. We could now, with a meter, to be honest, have 6, 7, 8 piece bands, but we're not going to do it. We won't dream of it. We keep into the 5-piece bands. It allows us to have 2 vocalists at the front, 2 guitar and bass amp, plus vocalists can have an amp at the front as well, at the side walls, and I think there's about 15 feet between them, and then the drummer. So it kind of gives us a really nice spread of much more than the 2 meters, really. I think if we got into, I mean, I know they've made it a meter, but I'd rather keep to the 2 meters. You know, I think for now,
they made it a meter, John, but it's not for singers. The 3 meter.
No, 3 meters for singer. Yeah. I mean, we've got
social distancing. The 3 meters remains.
Yeah, yeah, we've got that with the 5-piece bands with the vocalists, but even with the other members, they've got 2 meters. That like the guitarist and bassist have got just over 2 meters, about 2.5, 3 meters to the drummer as well. So I kind of, if we'd have wanted to with a meter, we could have kept the vocalist with a 3, but we could have got another maybe member or 2 in. But I just think it's pushing it, and I think I can understand they're taking advice of the scientists on, but also they're trying to balance that with the businesses that are now going to start to falter. They're trying to get the cogs moving. But I just think like we our rooms actually allow us to do a 5-piece band and stick to the 2 meter.
Yeah, I think it's wise for now. You know, you've got
that's what we're doing. You know,
and
I've got to be honest. If I was in a band that was 7, 8 members, I wouldn't be comfortable coming in. You know, I'd rather know that the guy next to me or the gal next to me, they're 2 or 2.5, 3 meters away from me. But it's yeah, I mean, I've been doing a lot of writing myself as well, a lot of music and stuff, which has been great. A bit of fun and stuff, and yeah, it's been nice. There's been a nice aspect to be able to like just breathe out, you know, and like, I mean, I imagine your gang are like we are here, where you just it's 10,000 miles an hour, isn't it? And there's always something to do, and you never stop. And even when the doors are closed, you're doing the behind the scenes things, and then when you get them on, yeah.
My lockdown has just been filled with different kind of work. I've got the radio station, got my live.
It's so much as well to kind of do behind the scenes, isn't it? With all the legalities and all the legislation and stuff that's going. It's a quite a full-time job keeping abreast of everything, isn't it? It really is. But it is. But it's, I mean, like me and Cam, like I said, the first kind of month was a bit strange, and it felt. Not like we lost his mojo, but just like we both said it was like we were looking at all these jobs to do, but we've not got the motivation to do it. And it just felt like really strange, as in like it couldn't be getting bothered to get on with something, but then you felt a bit guilty and down about not doing it. And it was just like the rug was pulled under you, and all your kind of umph had gone. And then I don't know, after about a month, we then kind of ended up, I did a lot at home, and we were doing a few bits down here. But again, it was just that no man's land of when we're going to open, what's going to happen. And it was just an uncertainty. And the worry as well about, you know, what if we get it, and what if people we love get it? And, you know, like Karen's mom there in the 70s, and mom and dad, and they've been isolated. Mom and dad have been the same. And you know, you worry about your family members, don't you? What's going to happen and stuff. And it was a full sort of arc, really, a full circle of, you know, losing motivation, and then kind of getting back on your feet, then the dawning of it all, and this is so real, and it could go on for months. Because I think at the first we all probably were, you close doors, but you think, well, you never know, we might be back in action in a month, then it's 2 months, and then you think, actually this could be half a year. You really, things creep up on you, don't they? You don't really take the full gravitas of things at first. But then this last month, 6 weeks, been great, because, you know, we kind of got a game plan of, right, you know, let's get finances sorted, let's get sorted so we can honour everything we need to, and we aren't going to go under. And I'm sure your guys, well, it takes a personal hit, and I think all businesses are, but we're going to be looking, you know.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because obviously, being directors of a company, and the way you take, I don't know how you guys run, but me and Mum are all directors, so you can't furlough, because we get paid by dividends.
Yeah. And if there's no dividends, it's like, what do you do? Yeah.
So we haven't had any wages since March.
It's so hard, isn't it? It's amazing. I mean, we've been saying we like, and I think we've spent something. I know it says like so, but since March, I think for me and Karen, we've spent something silly like £400. We've got shopping, but we've spent something silly, and it makes you realise how you can actually spend 25, 30 quid a week, and it's all you need, and it's. But you do your tighten belts where you need. I mean, we've been like, because we've been together 31 years now. We've kind of, we're lucky in that position on a personal note that we've got a lot of mortgage behind us and things, so we can draw on things. People who've just started businesses, or people who are still, you know, paying for equipment they might have purchased and been buying monthly and things, that must be a nightmare. You know, I mean, like, we know people who've got, you know, beauty salons, things like that, who you know, they've gone bankrupt and things, and you know, it is so hard. I mean, your silver lining, Charlie, is that, like, you've got such a brilliant atmosphere there, and so you've built something amazing. I mean, I think with your venue. You've got your UEA, you've got, you know, your venues that have your bands that have got promoters and they've got, you know, big kind of entourage that comes and such, you know. They've got a fan base that buy thousands of records and they fill them all, you know. But your venue as I don't think there's another venue like it in Norwich, because you are a venue. You are, you know, like I say, stages, proper sound engineers, lighting, proper sound systems, everything. But you give bands that are starting out or fledgling or are established, but they bring X amount of people, but they can't fill a 5,000 crowd capacity place. You give them a stage that is just fabulous and it's brilliant, and the young bands and stuff that they normally, to be honest, hiring equipment and playing pubs, which I don't, it's great, I love all the live venues, it's great that pubs are doing live music, but it's great to have a venue that allows bands that are starting out, but it's actually, you know, proper, sort of properly set up really, and it's properly engineered and they sound terrific. It's fabulous, you know. There's no other venue I think in Norwich that actually has, you know, full engineer, lighting system, sound system, full stage and everything that is open to bands that often have to play pubs with a higher PA.
I think the whole plan with that, John, was to give them an environment which almost mimics the next level up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
we never get that, especially playing original music.
Yeah.
We beat 200, like, you never get that. Not really, unless you're an established original artist who can at least, I know, put 500 bums on seats. Do you know what I mean? It's fabulous. You know what I mean? It's the bands that come here, they love it. They love your place. You know, I mean, when we open, when you get dates, when things do, because they will filter through. I know it's all limbo at the minute, but keep your eye on that. At some time, Charlie, we'll be down yours, having a drink, having a beer, watching some music, thinking, God, you know, we knew this had come, and it will. You know, and we'll placard here, like, you know, get yourself finished, you know, when you're finishing rehearsals here at 8, 9, get yourself down for a pint at the Brickmakers, go see them and support some live.
Well, I'll let you go. Thank you so much for having
honestly, it's been a pleasure being on, and honestly, my fingers are crossed with everything. Anything we can do to help your guys, we're always here. I love your venue, and honestly, it's just one in a million.
You're absolutely awesome. I hope your reopening goes all right. We'll get this out. It'll probably be sometime next week, but I'll let you know when it's going out.
No worries at all. So give my love to Em and your mom and everybody, and keep safe and just be vigilant, and love you, baby. See you soon.
Excellent. Love you all.
Bye, kiddo. Bye, mate.